business.
Madam Chair, I don't know where this falls in, right? But, after the last meeting where we voted, there was some articles in the press regards to sunshine law and transparency, right? And thinking about that, I spoke to some folks and they've asked me some questions. And as a result of that, I've prepared something I would like to read to be included in the notes,
Okay.
in the minutes, if I would.
Yes.
Right. Basically, speaking on personally, last month I missed an opportunity to brag on the collective accomplishments of the JEA family under the leadership of Mr. McElroy. Those accomplishments are the justification for his incentive pay. Because I missed it, the discussion in the weeks since shifted to scrutiny about the process and sunshine instead of applauding the accomplishments of the seventh largest municipal utility in our nation and the over 2,000 support center personnel, linemen, engineers, and other employees that keep the lights on and the water running in the greater Jacksonville area. If I could step back in time, I would make sure that I pointed out the impact that this CEO, Mr. McElroy, has had over the last year at JEA and talk about things such as how JEA has continued its pursuit of improved customer satisfaction ratings as measured by J.D. Power, with residential ratings moving from the bottom of the fourth quartile to the middle of the second quartile, and with the business rating having moved from the bottom of the fourth quartile to the middle of the first quartile. Also about how JEA has received national recognition by the American Public Power Association for exceeding expectations in electric distribution reliability performance, and how JEA exceeded electric generating unit operating performance by placing 11 of 12 units in the top quartile nationally. Also, I mentioned how JEA has exceeded expectations in wastewater collection systems performance by surpassing all EPA standards, and how JEA has exceeds expectations in all phases of complying with environmental regulations and regulatory standards from the EPA and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Also about how JEA has maintained its AA rating in spite of the public debate linking JEA to police and fire fund pension challenges. The fact that JEA has had no rate increases for the third consecutive year by focusing on initiatives that have allowed us to hold total expense enterprise costs, fuel production, product delivery, service delivery, and shared services to fiscal year 2012 levels. I'd also speak to the fact that yes, we held rates while providing a fuel credit to its stakeholders, our consumers, our citizens, for the second year in a row. And while doing so, we still provided the city with a transfer contribution that is greater than 9 out of 10 similarly rated municipal utilities, a point that is so significant that it is consistently at the top of the list of concerns that rating agencies have for JEA during its annual reviews. It's also important to note that JEA has held its rates, provided fuel credits, sizable city transfers, maintained its AA rating, and is demonstrating a willingness to assist the city with short-term debt challenges, all while our service area recovered from the most significant economic downturn since the Great Depression. Those are the facts that I believe our community should have been talking about over the last 4 weeks, because they are a sampling of the many significant accomplishments achieved by the employees of JEA. As I mentioned, those accomplishments were overshadowed by discussions about sunshine and process, and I believe that that has robbed JEA employees, its leadership, of well-deserved recognition. It has also robbed the public that we serve and the city of Jacksonville of the opportunity to place appropriate spotlight on the things that JEA does to set itself apart as a well-run, nationally recognized organization. My final point is equally as important. As far as criticism, again, speaking for myself, no one likes to be criticized, but Level 5 leaders view critical feedback as a necessary component of their journey towards sustained excellence. They don't listen with a defensive ear, nor are they concerned with the source or the motive of the critique. Their only concerns are, one, are the facts valid, or can they perceive as valid? If the answer to either is yes, those leaders owe it to the organizations that they serve to address the critique at its root. In this case, That will be the process that we use to determine our CEO's incentive pay. It is a process that I will advocate improving upon in the future to ensure that it will not, to ensure that we provide the transparency that our public and the constituency expects. I'll conclude by ensuring the public that your concerns have been heard and that the process will be reviewed to ensure it has no chance whatsoever detracting from the impressive accomplishments of our JEA employees going forward. The only downside to a situation like this occurs if, one, we don't acknowledge the concern, or number two, we don't carry the lessons forward as we move forward. I don't believe I'm by myself when I say that neither will be the case with regards to this board. That concludes my prepared remarks. I will provide a copy of my comments for inclusion in today's minutes.
Well said.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great.
Very
Excellent.
said. Very good.
Agreed. And any other comments?
So, Yeah, Wyman, I thought your comments were awesome, and I share your view. I would only add to your comments that JEA in the past 2 years has retired significant debt, or at least lowered its risk as far as debt service for future boards to deal with, which I thought was amazing given the circumstances.